fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The first time I saw her, the rain was slashing sideways against the windows of her bookstore like knives. Whispers and pages, the sign hung crooked, the paint peeling, but the glow of amber lamps inside drew me like a moth to a flame. I'd come to this forgotten coastal town to outrun my writer's block, but the moment I stepped inside, the air thickened with the scent of aged paper and bergamot, and I forgot why I'd ever needed words at all. She stood behind the counter, her fingers trailing over the spine of a leather-bound tome as if it were a lover's jaw. Dark hair coiled in messy braids, eyes the color of storm-bruised skies. When she looked up, her gaze pinned me to the spot, sharp and assessing, like she'd already peeled back my skin and read the secrets scribbled on my bones. Looking for something specific, her voice was low, smoke and honey. Just browsing, I lied, my throat dry. A smirk flickered at the corner of her lips. The shelves around us groaned under the weight of books, their titles shimmering faintly, letters rearranging when I blinked. Impossible. I reached for one. Don't. Her hand closed over mine, electric and sudden. Our fingers brushed, and for a heartbeat the room blurred. I saw her not here but somewhere else, beneath a sky torn open by lightning, chanting words that made the earth tremble. Then the vision vanished, and she yanked her hand back as if burned. "Some stories aren't meant for you," she murmured, turning away. But her pulse fluttered wild at her throat, and I knew, whatever she was hiding, I'd already begun to unravel it. I returned every day after that, inventing excuses, a search for rare first editions, a curiosity about local folklore. She never gave me her name, so I called her Syl, short for Sylph, for the way she seemed to drift between shadows. Door defied logic, rooms expanded overnight, staircases led nowhere, and sometimes the books sang. One evening I found her slumped in an armchair, fatigue bruising her eyes. A gash marred her forearm, dripping ink black blood onto the rug. "You're hurt," I hissed, rushing forward. She recoiled. "It's nothing." "Bullshit." I gripped her wrist, ignoring her flinch. The wound pulsed, strange symbols etched around it. "What is this?" Her laugh was brittle. "A warning, the boundaries weakening, they're coming." "Who?" But she only shook her head. That night as I left, the town's church bells tolled without hands, and the air tasted of rust and dread. The closer I crept to her truth, the more the world frayed. Dreams plagued me, Syl in a silver-gray cloak, standing at the edge of a cliff, her voice weaving spells into the wind. Her magic was old, older than the town, tethered to something hungry beneath the waves. And then there were the moments between us, charged and fragile, her breath catching when our hands grazed, the way she'd stare at my mouth before forcing herself to turn away. It was a dance, a push-pull of want and fear. "Why won't you let me in?" I demanded one night, cornering her in the store's attic. Rain lashed the roof, the sound like 1,000 frantic heartbeats. Her eyes flashed. "Because you'll drown with me. The wards are breaking. The keeper before me, she died holding them. So let me help." "You don't know what you're asking." I kissed her. A reckless, desperate press of lips, and for one blazing second she kissed me back, her magic surging between us, bright and terrifying. Then she tore away, chest heaving. "Please," she whispered, "leave before it's too late." The storm arrived at midnight. The sea roared, devouring the shoreline, and the streets flooded with water that moved against the wind. I ran to the bookstore, my boots sloshing through rising waves, but the door was locked. Syl. I pounded on the glass. Inside, candles flickered to life. She stood at the center of the shop, arms raised, her voice a thunderous chant. Books levitated around her, pages fanning open to reveal glowing runes. Outside, something colossal shifted beneath the waves, a shadow darker than the night. I threw myself against the door until it splintered open. "You don't have to do this alone." Her head snapped toward me, tears streaking her face. "You shouldn't be here." The ground shuddered. The creature's tendrils, ink black and writhing, slammed through the windows, shattering glass. Syl screamed a command and the runes flared, but the wards splintered like spiderwebs. One tendril lunged for her. I tackled her aside and it struck my shoulder instead. Agony seared through me, cold and corrosive, but Syl's hands were suddenly on me, her magic stitching my skin back together. "Why?" she cried. "Why did you?" "Because I love you," I gritted out, "and I'm not letting go." Her breath hitched. Then with a sob she pressed her palm to my chest. Light exploded from her fingertips, searing through my veins. Power, her power, surging into me, merging with something buried deep in my blood, something awake. The world went white. When the light faded, the creature was gone, the store in ruins. Syl stared at me, her face pale with shock. "You," she breathed, "you're a keeper too."